What caused low wages in the Industrial Revolution? Imagine a time when factories were popping up everywhere and workers were rushing to find jobs. It was a period of big change, but not everyone benefited equally. So, what made wages stay so low during this time? Let's break it down. The main reason was the rise of industrial capitalism. Factory owners wanted to make as much profit as possible. They didn't focus on paying workers more because they saw labor as just another cost to cut. The faster they could produce goods, the more money they made. Factories needed lots of workers quickly. Many came from rural areas or small villages where jobs were scarce. When large numbers of people moved to cities looking for work, it created a huge supply of labor. This meant employers could pay less because workers had little choice but to accept low wages just to survive. During this time, there were no strong laws to protect workers. No rules about safe working conditions, reasonable hours, or fair pay. Women and children often worked long hours in dangerous factories for very little money. Without unions or collective bargaining, workers couldn't demand better wages or conditions. Socialists argue that this was not just bad luck but a system built to keep wages low. Capitalists owned the factories, machines, and resources, and they kept most of the profits. Workers made the goods, but the wealth was concentrated in the hands of a few. This exploitation was built into the system itself. Other factors made wages even lower. For example, factory owners didn't want to spend money on safety measures or shorter hours. Workers worked 12 or more hours a day, often in unsafe environments, and still earned barely enough to get by. Children as young as 5 or 6 worked long shifts for very little pay, which kept wages low across the board. Because workers had no legal rights or power to organize, they couldn't push for higher wages. They were stuck in a cycle of poverty while factory owners kept profits high. This inequality fueled the growth of social movements calling for fair wages, better working conditions, and social reforms. From a socialist point of view, the low wages during the Industrial Revolution showed how capitalism relies on exploiting workers. The system benefits the owners at the expense of the laborers, and that's why wages stayed so low for so long. Over time, this led to demands for laws, unions, and social programs to help workers earn a fairer share of the wealth.